Yo, this is story time. This is like my high school sort of comeback story, and I hope that you like it. So, from 2012 to 2016, I attended Sky High School in Toledo, Ohio. Coming out of eighth grade, I did not think I was going to Scott because where my family lived at the time was like right in between Scott and Stark, two different school districts. So, at the time, Scott had a bad reputation of like fights in the school every day, gangs, kids getting bad grades, like all types of stuff. So Start just seemed like the better choice. So when my mom went to enroll me in Start, they told her that I was out of district by like a street. So I ended up having to go to Scott. And from day one, you know what I'm saying, when I first started going there, I had a big sister who was going there, and she was a senior. So she had some friends that kind of looked out for me in the hallways and whatnot, but they didn't really do much in as far as motivating me to do anything in the classroom. But my class that came in with me, these kids was like, it was two kids in that class who was like for sure gonna be playing varsity basketball. Um, and they just had a different, like the class itself, like everybody had a different perspective about how they wanted to approach high school. Like kids was trying to get good grades, kids was trying to be student athletes, and it was just different. You know what I'm saying? It definitely was something that I wasn't used to. So they would post like open gym workouts and all this stuff for basketball around the school. And this was like before the season, so like I would show up to these things, open gym, whatnot, and I was kind of getting familiar with the coaching staff. You would hear him telling you like, man, y'all, I hope y'all grades good. Y'all boys better be working on y'all grades, this, that, and the third. You would hear him say little things because it's gonna come a point where we having tryouts, and if you ain't got the grades, you can't play. And so when the first tryout came for freshmen, um, you had to bring your grade sheet. I didn't have my grade sheet because I knew it was gonna have nothing but bad grades on it. But your grade sheet is pretty much a piece of paper you gotta get signed by all your teachers. They gonna put your grade on it, their signature, and it's a little comment section. So if they want to leave anything for the coaches. And so when trials came, I tried out. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure I would have made the team, but they was like, if you ain't got your grade sheet, you might as well just leave. Later on, I found out that they won't even let you try out if you ain't got your grade sheet. I don't know what happened freshman year, but I tried out and I didn't have my grade sheet, so I ended up leaving. Now I didn't know anything about being ineligible at the time, but what I learned was if you ineligible the first half of the season, you can come back and play like in January or whatnot, as long as like you working on your grades and you get your grades good enough to be eligible. So once I found out I wasn't gonna be eligible that first time, uh, I instantly asked my mom, like, can you transfer me to Rogers or whatever? Like, I'm gonna go over there and play basketball. And so she did it. She transferred me, and she told the coach I wanted to play basketball. So at the end of my first day at Rogers, I remember going to see the coach in the hallway. And this is the end of the day at school. He told me, come to practice. I come to practice. I practiced. From that point on, I was like pretty much a part of the team. However, I was never working on my grades ever. Like I was never getting my grades right so that I could be eligible to play. So when it came January and it came time for me to play, I was still ineligible, which is like embarrassing. It's already embarrassing in one to be ineligible, and to be ineligible twice in 1 year is just like super embarrassing. So my whole idea of going to Rogers was just stupid. As soon as the school year ended, I went right back to Scott, and that's when I learned that it don't matter what sport you playing. If you ineligible, you ineligible. You gotta have the grades to play whatever sport you want to play. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as the school year ended, I go right back to Scott, and um, I pretty much was just bullshitting in school still. I was getting kicked out of class every day, sometimes getting kicked out of school. Um, Ironically, when I got to Scott, my dean, because the deans in the school system run by last name, and so being that I got a late last name, you know what I'm saying, my last name ended W, I had the same dean from eighth grade. He had like came to my high school before I got there, and he was my dean from like sixth grade all the way through high school. So getting kicked out of class and all that good stuff, like going to see him wasn't cool because he used to hit me on the head every time because he got tired of seeing me, and he used to tell me like, I'm tired of seeing you. But I get back to Scott, I'm getting into fights, I'm getting suspended for 10 days, kicked out of class, kicked out of school, all types of stuff. And so it's looking real bad for me freshman year, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of freshman year, I ended up going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, trying to move in with my granddad and pretty much trying to like start a life there. And if I knew what I knew later, I probably would have stayed. But man, I went out there. I lasted about 2 weeks. Came right back to Toledo, linked back up with my friends, and I was looking forward to sophomore year at Scott. And so um, this ain't really sophomore year. I'm going back to Scott, but this ain't really sophomore year because really it's 9R time. It's time for me to repeat the ninth grade. Uh, I don't know how it is in different states, but in Ohio, if you ain't pass your classes as a freshman, you pretty much a 9R. You know what I'm saying? So some people call themselves sophomores, but whole time you really a 9R. I was a 9R starting what I was claiming to be sophomore year, and I was like, man, I'm gonna do different this year. I'm gonna get better grades, and I'm gonna play basketball because people knew me as a basketball player. So I'm like, man, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do that. Sophomore year start, I did not do that. I'm doing the same thing I was doing freshman year, bullshitting in class, joking around, just straight up lollygagging. Probably had all F's at the time. So I used to work out with one of the coaches, the JV coach, Coach Key. Now, Coach Key was the man around town for training, you feel me? He used to bring in the best high school talent, some good college talent. Like, sometimes he brought in pros, like, in the summertime and whatnot. Like, he would bring people in and work out with him because, like, he was a skill developer. And so, Coach Key used to do these, like, after-school workouts and whatnot. And I would always pull up, you know what I'm saying? So one day he tell me, like, this is right before sophomore season, 9R season. He like I'm coming to his workouts. Coach Key tell me like, yo, I ain't about to keep working you out if you ain't working on your grades. Like, you wasting my time. And so I jokingly just laughed it off because I really thought he was bullshitting. So I go downstairs, put my shoes on, get ready for the workout. I come upstairs. This dude like, man, will somebody please tell Kobe that I ain't working him out no more? I'm not about to keep wasting my time for a kid that ain't trying to get his grades right. Instantly, I'm salty. Like, I had to go get dressed. I had to leave. You feel me? So I'm sick. Like, this shit had me hurt. I couldn't work out no more. Like, fuck them grades. I can't play basketball no more. Like, at that point, you feel me? I thought that I was losing bad. So, man, after that, I remember I had a conversation. So I wasn't obviously ineligible that sophomore season, the first half again. And like, unlike Rogers, like it wasn't the same as Scott. Maybe if you was like real good, but like, man, once you were eligible that first time, like you kind of just don't make the team. Like, unless you pretty much prove to the coach that first half of the season that you actually working on your grades, you checking in with him, you ain't even gonna be on the team second half of the season. That's just kind of how it was at Scott because they just expected you to have bad grades. You know what I'm saying? And so I start sophomore year off bad grades again. I don't get on the basketball team. I pretty much start bullshitting again. Like, I'm like not working on my grades until this third quarter at some point of sophomore year. I get pulled to the side by one of my science teachers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I was repeating a freshman science or taking my sophomore science class, but this teacher, she put me to the side and she was like, yo, whenever you apply yourself, like, I see what you can do. And the thing that made me gravitate towards what she was saying was she was young and she was black, and like it was different because she had a different tone about what she was saying. And it was the same coming from our principal. When I got there freshman year, we had a principal that had got there with us, and her name was Miss Jeffries, and she was like a mom almost, but she was like stern about what she was saying. Like, people took everything she said serious, and like the dynamic changed when she became the principal. But when Miss Archer, my science teacher, had that conversation with me, man, it was like, damn, like it was a real eye opener hearing what she had to say, and then hearing how Coach Key put it on me. It was like a real eye opener for real. Like, I was kind of growing up in a sense hearing that. And so I knew I had to make a change. And so, like, fourth quarter of my sophomore year, I was like super close to making honor roll. Like, I was doing better things. And so people saw that in me. Like, I remember that end of my sophomore year going into my junior year, I used to work out with this dude who was like one of the best players in the city. He was like city player of the year, and it was like a humbling experience to be able to work out with him because he was the man at Scott. Like he used to dap up the lamest dude in the school. He'd go shake his hand. You feel me? So it was like a privilege to be working out with him and to be able to be in the gym in the summertime. You feel me? It was something that you really should have been taking serious. So ending my sophomore year strong was a positive note for me. I almost made honor roll, which in my position, that was a big thing. Getting 3.0 in a quarter was like a big thing or whatever. So I was real close, but I did make it. And so starting my junior year off, I had more help pretty much. I had more motivation because I had got an English 3 teacher who was like, she just saw a lot in me and she really wanted to look out for me. And it was teachers who, it was other teachers and faculty who just, they had been seeing me since I was a freshman, you feel me? I had got a little older and they had saw me mature a little bit and they started wanting to help out, you feel me? So it was almost like the more effort I put into like getting my grades together, getting myself together, you know what I'm saying? Being a good student is when I started getting more love from teachers and faculty. And that's when they started investing their time into me, you feel me? And trying to help me be better or whatever. So my English 3 teacher, Miss Rich, I'll never forget. I used to come late to first hour every day. And if you late to first hour, they ain't even gonna let you go to first hour. You're gonna have to sit in the cafeteria for what's called lockout. And then once first hour in, then you can go to class. And so Miss Rich started picking me up for school every day because I was like had a bad grade in one class and I was super close to like being on honor roll. And she wanted me to be on honor roll. So she started picking me up every day. And now the disadvantage of this was I had to get up before any other kid my age. However, I was getting to school on time every day, and so it was better. It was improving my grade in first hour, and it was putting me in position. You know what I'm saying, to win. Not only that, Miss Rich was also she helped me with my first job application. Like she all the way up and through until I got the job. Like she literally did a lot for me. She was like also like a mom, like Miss Archer, Miss Jeffries, Miss Rich. They always like moms. You feel me? I think it was students in the school who actually used to call Miss Rich mom. But Miss Rich, man, she's still in my life to this day. But she was looking out for me back then like crazy. And Miss Rich looking out for me. She putting that positive energy in me in the morning, talking to me about how I'm gonna have a productive day, and that led to good things. You know what I'm saying? I was looking forward to playing high school basketball for the first time, and even though I had kept playing basketball outside of high school, it's different when you not on the high school team. Like how you calling yourself a hooper and you're not on the high school team? Like you just look like a lame. So I was in that lame category until I earned my right. So junior year trials for basketball came, and I'm doing great in class, so I wasn't worried about being eligible this time. Uh, but they made me try out for JV. You feel me? Because I ain't played in 2 years, so don't nobody really even know what I got for real from the coaching staff. So I had to try out for JV, and all my people out there that might see this video, anybody that know what it's like to be a junior playing JV, they know that shit is ass. Like again, how you gonna call yourself a hooper and you playing JV as a junior? So I'm on JV at this point, and soon as it start, I'm like slow as hell. Mind you, this Coach Key JV team, and Coach Key is tough as fuck. Like his workouts is no joke. You know what I'm saying? So Coach Key used to be like on my ass, like, man, you slow as fuck. Like you feel me? He used to cut into me, but that helped me like go hard because I was, even though like yeah, it used to bother me during practice and all that. Like Coach Key was always super cool, and it just he used to push me. You know what I'm saying? I used to listen to the things he was saying while we was practicing, and while we was like doing a certain drill, while he was like speaking that gospel. I'll be listening to him, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of put some more fire into me and made me want to keep going. So I was working hard, you know what I'm saying? By mid-season, I had starting for Coach Key, and it was dope because you're a junior playing JV, you should be starting anyway. You should be dressing for varsity, but that leads me to my junior year. The coach who was on varsity, he at the beginning of the year, he was like applying for the job because our varsity coach at the time, he had like some other stuff going on, so he was stepping down. So we was getting a new coach, this guy who was the building instructor at the time, he wanted the job, you know what I'm saying? He had some coaching experience, and so he pretty much applied for the job, and he was like a A candidate. So he pretty much like confident and he gonna get the job. And so one day I'm carrying my basketball, and this is something I used to do every day. I used to carry my basketball to and from my locker while I worked out with the assistant girls basketball coach, who was the gym teacher. He used to train me during lunch. So one day I bring my ball to school, and I see the soon to be varsity coach, and he like, yo, don't be dribbling that ball around school. And I'm like, all due respect, you know what I'm saying? I don't dribble the ball around school. I only bring it to and from school and from my locker to the gym, and I carry it. I don't dribble it. I only bring it because I work out or whatever. So he kind of hit me with this look of like, all right, you feel me? But I could tell that he thought I was bullshit. So later on that day, I ended up going to go work out. You know what I'm saying? I went to go work out, did my normal 1-2. I'm on my way back to my locker to put the ball up, and he see me, and he like, yo, you don't listen. Like, he's out the gates. He was like, man, you don't listen. And I'm like, huh? And he was like, I told you not to be having that ball around school. And I said, man, I'm just carrying the ball to my locker, you feel me? And to and from the gym into my locker or whatever, and I bring it to school. And he didn't like that, you feel me? So this guy he was a little bit cocky because how he came at me, and he ain't even had a job yet, but he was finna be the head varsity coach, so I could see how he would feel like he could approach somebody with a basketball or dribbling a basketball, but I wasn't dribbling, so the whole situation should have been different. But he told me I ain't listen or whatever, and while I was playing JV for Coach Key, I always knew like this dude ain't never really liked me, and like he never really had the idea of like trying to get me on varsity. Like, if you know, you know, man, a JV player that's a junior playing JV is probably dressing varsity. If not, he just super ass, and he's somebody who just playing just for fun. You feel me? I wasn't just playing just for fun. I was out there trying to win. Like, Scott was always known to be a powerhouse school in the city for basketball. All 4 years I went there, so and I consider myself a hooper, especially by that time. So I felt like I should have been getting that chance to try to come up. But I told you that the coach, he ain't favor me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like me out the gates from the moment I met him. So when at the end of junior year, pretty much, I ended the year strong. You know what I'm saying? The basketball was cool. My JV team was like, we lost like 2 games out of 30. Like, it wasn't no JV team in the state even playing 30 games. That was just a testament to like how hard Coach Key was like pushing us. But man, I never got my opportunity on varsity my junior year, and that hurt me. That made me think that senior year basketball was gonna be like not good. You know what I'm saying? It was not gonna be. I probably wasn't gonna play. You know what I'm saying? This is all the things that I'm thinking about the coach. And so one of my best friends, Maury, he used to hoop too. R.I.P. Maury. He was like, man, I'm thinking about transferring. You know what I'm saying? Me and him had a lot of friends around town who played basketball at different schools. And they would put in our ear, like, you know what I'm saying, come here for this reason, come here for that reason. And so I'll never forget, man, Maury ended up transferring to Rogers. And Maury transferred to Rogers because of basketball. He wanted to play basketball. He didn't think he was gonna have a future at Scott. Like, he didn't think Scott was gonna get him to college. You know what I'm saying? We all had hoop dreams. We all was like, ball is like this, ball is like that. And at that time, 2012 through 2016, you know that like ball is life was like a slogan hoopers lived by. So Maury ended up dipping, and I really wanted to go, but I knew how like family oriented Scott was, and even though I knew basketball may or may not have went how I wanted it to go my senior year, I knew that, man, I had family at Scott who was gonna look out for me if I needed them, which leads me to I ended up needing these folks because my senior year, when I was building my schedule, I realized that my freshman and sophomore year had caught up to me. I had to make up all the shit that I failed. You feel me? So by the time I was a senior, I literally, in my school, out of all the other schools around town, we had 8 classes. Everybody else had 7. So we was an hour longer every day anyway. So I had to do pass all 8 classes that was on my schedule, and I had to make up a bunch of classes. Like, I can't think of how many, but I want to say it was like at least another 8 classes. You feel me? I did 2 of them on a computer online class. I did a few of them as an independent study. And only reason I was able to even do an independent study is because my counselor, Mr. Enzyme, me and him was cool as hell from day one, from when I was a freshman. You feel me? And I'm gonna take y'all back a little bit to sophomore year when it was a point in time I wasn't coming to school at all. Like, I did not come to school. That was another embarrassing thing. Like, just trying to go to the store, you at the corner store grabbing a juice or something, and an adult see you and ask you why you ain't in school because these school hours, and like you just ain't got nothing to say. Like, that's embarrassing as hell, and that wasn't cool, and it didn't feel good. So I'm missing a bunch of school, and one day I go to a basketball game sophomore year and not playing, but I go and I'm watching, and I see my counselor, Mr. Enzyme, and he like, yo, Kobe, you ain't been to school in ages. Like, you feel me? What's going on? I'm concerned. Like, it's good to see you. You know what I'm saying? He was telling me like, it's good to see you at this game because I was worried about you. You know what I'm saying? And so Mr. Enzyme, he wanted me in school. And so my granddad, I don't know if I told him, I don't know who told him, you feel me? I don't really remember. But somebody contacted my granddad in Milwaukee and told him that I wasn't going to school. And he flew, or not flew, he ain't flying. My granddad drove to Toledo, you feel me? That's like a 6.5 hour ride. He drove to Toledo, took me to Scott, and we sat down with Mr. Enzyme, and we built my whole schedule. This was sophomore year, and this was how I started making that comeback toward that honor roll. I kind of skipped that, but I had to go back to it. You feel me? That honor roll that I almost got into my sophomore year when I actually started making that comeback. That was all because of my granddad coming and us having that conversation with Mr. Enzyme. Because Mr. Enzyme, he saw good in me, man. We had like a small connection from when I transferred to Rogers and came back. A lot of the people who played basketball at Rogers, he was at Rogers before he came to Scott. So that was just like a thing, man. Mr. Enzyme was always super cool. So my senior year, it was easy for me to go talk to him about my schedule, and it was easy for him to like break it down to me what it meant for me to have to do all these things. And plus, with these independent studies, like going to Scott, like at Scott, this is a public high school built off like poverty and a bunch of black kids. Like, it ain't really no kids doing no independent studies, let alone kids even knowing what an independent study is. I definitely didn't. But Mr. Enzyme broke this down to me, and he was like, pretty much you got to go around and ask teachers that you might have had in the past, or a teacher that you know teach this subject, and let them either take the class as an independent study or see if you can add it to your schedule and go from there. So I did that, and I ended up filling it all up. You know what I'm saying? I had to take like a English 2, and I used to show up to that class. Like, I actually had to go to that class. Health I did as an independent study, and the health teacher, she was cool as hell. Miss Zanny, she looked out for me. The most important person in that whole independent study and like going to talk to, the Kyle Clark, man. I had this teacher, Kyle Clark. I had took him early in high school, but he was always the man at Scott. Like, he was always this white dude who was like super hip, and like he knew how to teach at our school. He knew how to love on these young black kids and not like make nobody feel belittled. Like, he knew how to pick us up, love on us, and like motivate us, you feel me? So Clark was big for our class and big for me. So when I went to go talk to him my senior year about getting this independent study, he out the gates he said, yeah, but Clark gave me a book, and he was like, read this book. And I started reading the book. I probably read the book for like a week. I ended up losing the book. Like, I lost the book. I don't know where. Like, I just was bullshitting around, not reading it, and lost it. And so Clark, I had this female who was like taking one of Clark classes who I was cool with, and I had her steal a book for me. Like, I deadass had her steal one of Clark books and give it to me. So that's what she did. She brought me the book. Now I got this book, and I'm still bullshitting about reading it. I'm kind of just like focused on my main classes and my other independent studies and those extra classes that I had to pass. And mind you, I had to pass every single thing my senior year in order to walk with my class. So this girl steals this book. She gives it to me. I'm bullshitting about reading it. I end up taking care of like health and English too, and all these other classes that I needed to take care of. And then I got back to reading the book, and I finally read it all. And it wasn't until like the last week where I finished the book. Like I remember I went to pick up my cap and gown, and I wasn't even done with the book yet. And I didn't even know if I was gonna walk with my class, but I had to come pick my cap and gown up. So Clark, he looked out for me, man. He told me, "Come back to me when you're done reading this book," and I did. I read the entire book. I came back to him. As soon as I came back to him, like it took me a while, but I had to like get it all together. I came to him. I spoke the truth out the gates. I said, "Clark, the first book you gave me, I lost it, but I'm willing to pay you the money to buy a new book." He instantly looked at the price and like told me like, "You gotta pay me this much money for that book." So I'm like, bet. But then he asked me all about the book, and then I told him all about the book, and he could tell that I read it. You feel me? And then he gave me some paperwork or whatever that went with the book, and he gave me like, I couldn't remember if it was a movie or if it was like a bunch of like long, like whatever it was, it was long. It was long like a movie, but it was a movie or like a YouTube, like something that I had to watch, that had some paperwork to go with it. And all of that was my independent study. So I didn't finish that until like literally the deadline. But like when it came to senior year basketball, the good thing that I will say, like, no basketball senior year didn't go how I wanted it to go. Yes, we had some talent on our team, but I learned a lot that year. And the biggest takeaway that I had from that was the coach that hated me um, my junior year, who I didn't even think I was ever going to be able to play for. Like when I came to Charles my senior year, yes, I knew I was going to make the team, but I didn't know I was going to make the team because this dude was the coach. So me and him, we built a better relationship. Like once I started playing for him, we actually had a relation, like a good relationship. And still to this day, if I picked up my phone and tried to call him, he'd pick up. Man, he a good dude at heart. And so I just want to say, because he sounded like a negative dude earlier in the video, but he turned out to be a pretty good dude. Um, so senior year basketball ends uh pretty subtle. You know what I'm saying? We lost in like the semifinal, and I look back on my basketball career just saying like, look how much you learned. Like, bro, like if I when I finally do have kids or like coaching coaching, which is kind of what I'm into now, I kind of instill that into them. Like, bro, you do not want to be ineligible. Like 1 year of ineligibility can catch up to you. Like I know a dude who was ineligible one time, like literally the first half of his freshman year, and he wasn't able to go D1. He should have went D1 right out of high school, and he ended up going JUCO first and then going D1. And his career was dope, but that's just how his career like kind of went. But man, senior year, I ended up not going to prom because my prom date kind of played me, and I want to tell that story, but I'm gonna tell that in another story because I think that that's another cool story in its own. It's not gonna be as long as this one. This is probably gonna be probably my longest story because it's kind of got a lot of detail, and I left a lot of details out. But pretty much the end of this story is I walked with my class on time. I finished all them independent studies. I walked with my class, and when I walked across that stage, I did a little dance. My whole family was there. Senior night for basketball, my whole family was there, and it was just dope, man. That whole like kind of turnaround in high school was crazy for me. Like I remember my senior year, Miss Jeffries, she had me talking to underclassmen like I was some sort of motivational speaker. She had me specifically talking to underclassmen and like telling my story. And when the basketball season ended my senior year, we went and we talked to like Jones Leadership Academy or another like elementary school. We went and talked to they boys. It was an all boys school, and all my teammates got up on the mic and like said something little, and like naturally I didn't even mean to, but I got up there and I just started telling the kids my story. You feel me? And everybody just gravitated towards me. The kids, the principal, my teammates. Like I was telling things that maybe they didn't even have knew. Like people didn't know how much Coach Key touched me. People didn't know how much Miss Archer touched me. You know what I'm saying? So it was very important that I told that story, but it was dope that I didn't even mean to tell it. I just spoke it from the heart, you know what I'm saying? And right now, I'm really just speaking from the heart. I had a notepad that I was supposed to go off of and kind of give me some hints of what not to forget. And I bet you I forgot some of that stuff because I did not go off the notepad. But man, I think storytelling just might be something that I'm good at, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I told this story as good as I think I did. I'm gonna post this video no matter what, and I'm gonna end up rewatching it later. But the whole point of this video was for me to motivate somebody, you know what I'm saying? If you out there and your grades bad, man, get on it now. Don't wait till it's too late, because if you're trying to play college basketball or something like that, that type of stuff really just don't add up. Like, a lot of people playing college basketball, especially on a D1 level, was never ineligible. You know what I'm saying? And don't make no excuses. Don't look for nobody else to tell you. And bro, don't look for nobody to tell you, like nobody in your family or nobody necessarily that you think is supposed to tell you these things, bro. Just take it for what it's worth, man. I learned everything I learned, and I got to where I am in life by going to school and learning from teachers and other people. Like, I wasn't necessarily getting that at home. So use that as motivation. Hopefully use this video as motivation. Use me as a little bit of motivation, and keep grinding, bro. Whoever you is, if you watching this video just because you sit in the crib and just need something to watch, like, hopefully that this story, like, you like it, or maybe you can tell it to your niece or nephew or little brother or something like that and get him on the right page. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna come with plenty of more videos, different things. I'm gonna tell y'all all about different stuff. I think I got some cool stories on standby. But right now, I just kind of wanted to introduce y'all to me a little bit, and I wanted it to be kind of authentic story right out the gate. Thank you for listening. Peace.